Hey guys, what's going on? If you're looking to get into buying storage units online, I'm going to give you the 5 tips that I personally use to be able to buy and flip storage units so that way you can make money either as a hobby or even as a full-time job if you have the desire to. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so personally, I do a lot of buying on Storage Treasures. There's other websites that you can use like storageauctions.com, Locker Fox. It's really just, you can use all of them. Um, and I look at all of them, but the ones I predominantly buy from and what I'm going to just go over with you guys today is going to be on Storage Treasures. So the best thing that I do right off the bat when I'm logged in, set up and everything, you want to go and do obviously a search, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. You're going to do your zip code. I personally, for right now, for my zip code, go and do, got to keep moving my little face. I do 50 miles personally. Okay. Um, so let's do that zip code. So from here, you can see all the auctions that are ending, right? Within 50 miles, you can do soonest to latest distance, whatever. I like seeing what's ending soon. So the first thing that you probably want to do, and again, what I do, okay, this is how I source our units and what we mainly look at. We do not do private sales. We don't do charity units. I will oftentimes uncheck the non-lien units or manager special or manager units, whatever. I've had success with them. They're not horrible, but typically manager special units are either people started cleaning out a unit and left it there and then they didn't want to lien it. They're like, look, we're not going to deal with the lien. The person is paid up. They just left stuff behind. So they list it as a manager special. Or they'll take stuff that's been left at the facility inside units that have paid and been emptied and they put them all in one unit and then they list it as a non-lien manager special. So that one's hit or miss, really. I haven't had as much luck looking into them because I don't really care to personally, but so I'll go with lien units right off the bat. Okay, I don't have anything in here where I select, certain items. You may want to do that. So step one, lien units only. Okay. Step two, whenever I'm going to it, I always want to make sure that I look at the when it's closing and I want to make sure that it's within still reasonable driving, right? So Marietta, again, we're the northwest unit flippers, right? North Georgia unit flippers. We're in Northwest Georgia. So that's where I'm at. This is one of the items that I have in my watch. The second thing that I do, again, is verify really how far it is. Just because I put a 50-mile radius doesn't mean it's 50 miles of driving. It could be um, a lot of traffic through Atlanta, and like I don't want to deal with it unless it's a good unit. So I always verify the true distance of how far it is. Number three, I like, the bid's cool, and we're not there yet. I like seeing what cleaning deposits are. There's some facilities like this one has $40. I've never seen a $40 cleaning deposit. Um, that's, pretty unique. Most of the time they're $100. Larger units I've seen be $200 to $300. But even that's very rare, and that's usually non like public storage, non oh my gosh, extra space. Like if they're smaller ones, they typically have larger ones. Public storage is actually getting away from doing cleaning deposits. So you can actually have a cleaning deposit of $0. They just get you banned on storage auctions if you, or storage treasures if you don't get your stuff. So I like looking at the cleaning deposit because cleaning deposits will play, if you're just starting off in this, it'll play a role in how much you have available. So if you're like, hey, I got $500 to spend on a unit, you have to be aware of the two things. The buyer's premium. So for storage treasures, I think it's like 10 to 15% depending on your monthly level. So if it's 15%, you got to take that out of your $500 right off the bat. The other thing is how much is the cleaning deposit? If you don't have an extra, $100, let's say, um, then that has to come out of how much you can actually bid. So being aware of taxes, cleaning deposits, buyer premiums, those are very important things to look at. Um, the fourth thing, and I haven't even gotten into looking at the units, okay? So the fourth thing is I want to see payment options, credit card, debit card. So that means they can either be sometimes self-service where they don't have a manager on site, so you have to do it over the phone. So your $100 is coming off your card for the cleaning deposit. Taxes and fees already come off your card as soon as you win with these sites. Then when you have to pay the remaining balance, you have to pay it on a credit card, debit card. So if you're cash heavy and you're like, I'm going to pull out a bunch of cash, or vice versa, if you're like, I don't have any cash, and some facilities are cash only, then you just have to be aware of how your payment is going to have to be made. Okay, so I'm looking at those things right off the bat. Looks, the deposit, where it's at. Some people look at the size. I don't care about sizes too much from just like what it says on here, 8 by 16. I can tell it's a good size unit just from the pictures, right? So those are the first few things that I'm actually looking at. Now, when it comes to actually bidding on units, there's other videos I have about how to get rid of stuff that you need to sell and get gone. I'm not going to recapture that as far as all the things that I personally recommend to do. But if I'm looking at a unit, I'm going to want to obviously see, I want to bid on for what I can see. All right. So this is a little different of a storage facility, obviously. Um, so I already know it's a pretty good size unit. And what can I see? Right off the bat, I mean, I'm just not seeing much except just normal household kind of crap. People love these types of things. If they do swap meets or yard sales all the time, this would be a fantastic unit for them because it's just, hey, what's the bid right now? $60. I want to bid 150 max. And this stuff I'll be able to get for my yard sale, right? Or there might be hidden treasure in it. That's the addiction I think a lot of us deal with is like we don't know what's in it, right? So this is my watch. I'm keeping an eye on it because I'm like, you know what? I do yard sales. I got some pretty decent size unit here. So it might be something that if the price is right, I would bid on it. Um, Going back over here. So whenever I scroll through again, kind of just looking at the basics of it, looking at units. So not every unit's going to be like horrible if it's junky looking. I like junky units sometimes. I like outside units. Some people don't like dealing with it. So just be, you got to be aware, like after you've started doing this. So here's a $0 clean deposit, like I said. So excuse me, coming Georgia a little bit further for me, but they do cash, credit card, debit card. They don't care. They just want their money. Public storage is pretty good at doing that. But again, I bid on if I was going to bid on this, which I am probably more likely not going to. What can I see? Okay. Wee boxes, again, it's probably not going to be in there. Mattresses, I hate dealing with mattresses more than anything. So this would not be a unit for me, even though it's at only $10, right? Let me get a little closer. Um, so this one I bid on originally. I got two of them, so we'll look at both of them. But the rule of thumb is bid on obviously what you can see. Do not assume boxes have like if they have writing on them, don't assume that's what's in them. Like you can see what's in some of these boxes. Totes are a big thing for me. I'm like, man, if there's totes, it's probably going to be something I want to bid on. Let me go to the one that's ending. Oh, there it is. So this one, for instance, this is one I'm going after a little bit more. Okay. So you can, two things of boxes. One, if there's the same boxes that look unopened or if they have the same writing on them, then you can kind of assume, I'm going to show you what I mean. You can kind of assume that's probably what's going to be in there. But if it's, a household looking unit, like, and this, stuff is written on it, don't always assume if it's like collectibles. Don't be like, I'm going to bid on this because it says collectibles. You want to look at some of the descriptions and stuff. This says food service supplies, cleaning is 300. It's a 10 by 30. This thing's a monster, which obviously I can tell by the photos. It's an Ackworth, which isn't too horrible from us. Credit card, debit card, right? So if I zoom in on here, when I talk about these boxes, if I'm seeing they're all set up in these ways, and these pictures are kind of hard to see everything, but I'm starting to see cups, lids, similar boxes, right? Like you can't tell. Like this is the fun stuff for me. Like I'm not gonna bid on it because of the boxes themselves, but the fact of how many there are. And I'm already seeing restaurant supplies, which again, people will buy them up, especially small business owners. If you have them cheap enough, they'll buy this kind of stuff. The shelving can absolutely be sold. We sell these ones, these larger heavy duty ones, they can be sold for about 150 bucks a pop, right? So from what I can see, one, two, three, it's 450 bucks right there that I know I would get back. We sell these racks all the time. Um, in the back, it looks like some of these plastic pallets. People buy those up for about 10 bucks a pop. Um, and then there's some, just some other stuff. Like this is a good size unit. It's a good size, good amount of stuff. We would just borrow a pallet jack and jack it up and then get it to the trailer and then unload them so that way we can get them all to fit in there. Stuff like that. So that's my fifth rule. You have to bid on really what you can see. And then again, there's going to be some unknowns. Okay. I don't want you just saying, oh, on this one, oh, this is actually a good one. This one's out of our budget range of what we're looking to spend, but it's a good unit. This is definitely a good unit. Inside of it, what I can see, crossbow. Okay, that's a decent crossbow. Tables. These tables are 20 bucks a pop all day. Oh, here's another one. We got loading ramps. So I've sold loading ramps for about 100 bucks. Last time we had some. So this is a good unit for people to bid on if they have the budget to do so, because there's gonna be a good amount of money back. You got ladders. Underneath that, looks like a toolbox here, maybe two toolboxes. So there might be some really, really good stuff that's hidden back there that you just can't see. But even that, like if you got the budget, like this would be a very good unit to bid on. So again, if you're starting off on this, find something within your budget. Also remember that you have sales tax, you have buyer premiums, you have cleaning deposits. Find out which payment methods they actually use. You can look at the condition or not the condition, the what a unit contains. You can look at the sizes. I just like looking at the pictures, knowing how much, stuff they have inside of it. And doing this will be able to help you get your foot in the door. Just some of the things that you have to look at and some of the rules of bidding is you're going to bid on unknowns, but also bid on what you can see. So, if I know that there's toolboxes and there's, you know, crossbows and there's all this stuff, like I can assume based on what I can see, a lot of the other stuff that's going to be hidden in boxes is going to be pretty good stuff to you. So you can kind of make that assessment on it. So anyways, guys, hopefully that helps. You're looking to get storage units. You can drop any questions that you guys have down in the bottom. I'll answer them as I see them. Sometimes I don't even see the comments coming up. So if that happens, just know I'm not doing it intentionally. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and I will see you in the next video.